Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at something really exciting. In front of me I have the Aer Ultra Collection, which they've released to commemorate their 10-year anniversary. So really big milestone for Aer, very exciting to see as somebody who's been a fan of theirs from the very beginning. It's been cool to watch as they've evolved over the years, continue to expand their product line. It always seems like they manage to do everything really well, whether it's, their active collection, travel collection, EDC, tech, pouches. They really just kind of cover the full spread of items that we look at on this channel. And so as part of this collection, it seems like they've gathered up some of their greatest hits, so to speak, and upgraded them with this, space age fabric that seems to be popping up everywhere. So this collection includes the Aer Travel Pack 3 and the Travel Pack 3 Small, the Duffel Pack 3, their City Pack Pro, a couple of their sling bags, and their travel kit. So, a nice variety of some of the things that I've really enjoyed using from them over the years. And in this video, I'm gonna be, just doing an overview of the collection, talking about what it's been like to use the new fabric. And then it's also just been great to have a chance to revisit some of these bags that I've been using for a while in some shape or another and talk a little bit about, how they've held up over the time that I've had them. And so really excited to share them. Before jumping in, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Before walking through the individual items, I first wanted to focus on the most notable update here, which is the Ultra fabric. And this is something that I'm starting to see on a ton of the newer premium bags that are coming out. I have a couple of videos over the next few months that are going to feature bags that have Ultra. I also did a video recently for the Triple Aught Design Axiom pack that had the same fabric. So I've had an opportunity to get hands-on with it, and so far the experience has been really good. There's a lot of hype around this fabric, and it seems to be an iteration or an evolution of X-Pack and Dyneema in the sense that it's a lighter, stronger fabric that is going to offer excellent weather resistance. I mean, that's kind of my takeaway so far, is that those are the key factors. It does many of the things that Dyneema and X-Pack did, but maybe just a little bit better. It has a pretty distinct style from what I've seen so far, a little bit of texture. I like the aesthetic more than I did the Dyneema. It doesn't have quite as much crinkle. You can still hear it a little bit. And then it's something that, so far in my testing has been really impressive with the water resistance in particular. I've really splashed a ton of water on all of these bags. So far, nothing has leaked through. So it does what it's saying that it's going to do. I'll be curious to see how these fabrics hold up over a little bit longer, as I've had a chance to observe them over months or years, because this is just newer for me and I haven't had a chance to do that. But so far, it's felt great. It's an excellent fit for Aer's collection that they've selected here, and it just matches up with the typical aqua guards and the aesthetic that they tend to have for their products. And so as I mentioned, for this collection, it really seems like Aer assembled some of their greatest hits from the various product lines that they have. So I'll try to go through them in maybe kind of a chronological order. We'll see how my history does as we're going through here. And my first exposure to Aer came with their active line. They released the Duffel and the Fit Pack many years ago, really excellent sort of hybrid tech and gym bags. And so for this collection, they have the Duffel Pack 3, which is, a nice evolution over the years of that original bag. And, I've always been a big fan of the Duffel Pack and the Fit Pack. You can't get the Fit Pack in the Ultra fabric, at least from what I've seen. And I'm glad that they went with the Duffel Pack because it's actually the one that I prefer between the two, just because it's gonna offer a little bit more space and functionality. And so, this is a pretty unique aesthetic. As the name implies, it does have a duffel vibe, and that matches up with the goals of the bag, which is, to match up with an active lifestyle. When you're on your move, you're going to the office, you need a tech bag that's going to be durable. If you're commuting by bike, you want to stop at the gym. The bag kind of covers all of those things, and the aesthetic matches. It's, sleek, modern. And then with the Ultra fabric, it's just going to offer that extra bit of protection if you do happen to get caught outside, in the elements. Beyond that, very nice, aqua guarded zippers, Hypalon pulls. These are things that I'll, probably call out in all of the items. And then, as is common with Aer's bags, you have a fantastic harness system. They have some of my favorite harnesses of any on the market. So, just really well padded, comfortable straps. No major changes here. The Duffel Pack has the luggage pass-through and a side handle, so this always works really well together. Just very easy to get this on and off. And then the layout on this one is fantastic. Of course, you have the main duffel style opening. It's gonna make it very easy to load your stuff out, your clothes, anything that you need to be grabbing. You have the dual external water bottle pockets, very important for an active style bag. You have the quick access pockets that Aer is so well known for. And you have an interesting liner here with the Ultra Collection. It's got this sort of lime green almost, or light yellow. It's a nice bright color, so a lot of contrast so you can see inside of the pockets. One thing that's different here is that the top quick access pocket does not have the soft lining that you typically find in Aer's newer bags. So that's something that's a little bit different with the collection to keep in mind. And then you have quick access pockets on the side, a little bit smaller to be able to reach your essentials. And so, just not going overboard with the organization, but very useful. And then you have a dedicated tech area on the Duffel Pack 3 that has a well padded suspended laptop sleeve. Again, no fleece lining here. And then you have a slip pocket, zippered pocket, so fairly minimal but still really functional, useful. And when I'm going to dance events or if I need a gym bag for the day, this is still one of the options that I'll reach for first. Up next, we have the Travel Pack 3 lineup, and for me, the Travel Pack will always have a special place in my heart, as it was really kind of the bag that kick-started my love of one bag travel and just sent me down the rabbit hole of all of these newer bags. It was just such a great experience to use the original Travel Pack. It was super functional, held up very well over the years. I took it on a ton of different trips. And then, Aer started to release new iterations of it, which was exciting to see, how they were updating it. They are now on their third iteration. I've done a full review for these bags on the channel if you want to check it out and see a little bit more of the nitty gritty on how I've loaded them out and everything. And so one of my favorite things about this lineup is that Aer released both the small version, which comes in at 28 liters, and then the larger version is 35 liters. And I talk about the Travel Pack 3 Small a lot in particular just because of its versatility. It works well as a personal item. I've placed it under the seat in front of me on numerous flights and can hold an impressive amount while still working well as an EDC backpack. And then the larger version is, one of the best one bag travel sizes that you can get with 35 liters. It's just a perfect kind of carry-on size that'll fit into the overhead storage compartment of any airline or flight. Both of them have the same excellent layout. So, the kind of classic Aer aesthetic that's been around for a while, which I think works well in a number of environments. And then the Ultra fabric matches up very well with this. You have the super comfortable harness system. This is a bag that I can wear for hours on end, with a heavy loadout, and it feels great. You have the load lifters, the compression straps. Aer has released a removable waist belt that is also in the Ultra fabric that you can pair with these bags. And then, the harness system is just super breathable, comfortable. You have the luggage pass through. You have handles on all sides, which are really nice with the seatbelt like fabric. Compression straps, so you can squeeze the bag down so it's not as bulky if you don't have it as full. And it also just provides a nice amount of additional functionality. It feels like the magnetic buckles have been updated a little bit here on this edition from the ones that are on the just standard kind of ballistic nylon version of the bag, but still magnets, very easy to unhook and use it to hold a tripod, a jacket. And then of course you have the water bottle that Aer has been using for a while now with the little zipper to compress it down when it's not in use. So, keeping all of the things that I've always loved about the Travel Pack 3. And then the organizational layout on this continues to be one of my favorites of any bag. You have, nice quick access on the front with this, zippered area here. And you have quick access pockets at the top. Aer always does these so well. With these, like I mentioned with the Duffel Pack 3, no soft lining. So interesting sort of update with this lineup. And with the Travel Pack 3, one of the updates that from the previous iteration is you have these, zippered quick access pockets on the side, which are also a great addition. Then you have the dedicated laptop compartment with the suspended, well-padded laptop sleeve, a pocket on the inside for your tech accessories, your charger, your mouse, hard drive. It's great that everything is just kind of grouped there with your laptop. And you have the secondary kind of admin organizational area, which is full length here. It goes all the way down, almost like a additional clamshell compartment. This is one of the things I've always loved about this bag. You do have a ton of built-in organization, some slip pockets and sleeves, but even if you don't use those, this pocket here is just super functional as far as being able to store a jacket, pouches, an extra pair of shoes. I've used it for a ton of different stuff over the years, and then the zipper comes down a pretty nice amount, allowing you to take full advantage. So really well thought out design there. And then of course you have the clamshell style opening, which is always very helpful for travel bags in particular. With me, with the packing cube style that I like to use, everything is able to fit in there very comfortably. So the 28 liter can hold an impressive amount, and then the 35 liter is something that I can travel with for multiple weeks at a time. I can almost live out of this bag. It has the lockable zippers as well, so it just checks off all the boxes for what you'd be looking for out of a travel backpack, which is why it continues to be pretty much my top recommendation. When people ask me what my go-to travel backpack is, Aer Travel Pack 3 is always right at the top of the list. As Aer continued to expand their lineup of bags, they started creating an ecosystem of accessories to pair with those bags, and they've come out with some very impressive pouches and dop kits over the years. The Cable Kit 3, which was just recently, was a really nice addition. The Slim pouch is one of my go-tos anytime that I need something for my tech and EDC essentials. Their original dop kit is one that I still have to this day, but to me the best one has definitely been the travel kit. This form factor is just ideal for minimal travel. It just provides the right balance of space without feeling overwhelmingly big. This is one of the things I always look for in a dop kit, is that it has a pretty slim form factor. And this one is also nice and flexible, so it can squeeze in, especially if it's not as full. And with the Ultra fabric, it matches up really great with the travel pack in the same fabric. And then the layout of this, I always thought, was just incredibly functional and well thought out. You have a nice handle at the top so you can carry this or pull it out of your bag easily. Toothbrush holders on the side, which was always a nice touch that Aer included with their dop kits. A couple of quick access pockets, one on the back for anything a little bit more sensitive. You have quick access pocket on the front, so just keeping everything easy to access, separated. And then you have the full zip opening, so it opens up flat for you to be able to easily grab whatever you need. It has a hook so that you can hang it on a towel rack, which is always super useful. You have a couple of zippered pockets on the lid, one on the front. Then you have some elastic bands for something like a razor, your toothbrush, and then this kind of larger compartment where you can point your liquids and other bulkier toiletry items. There's some additional bands on the inside, so it just really strikes a great balance between offering organization and space without going overboard. And when I'm thinking about which dop kit I'm going to grab for an upcoming trip, this is always one of my go-tos regardless of the travel backpack that I end up using. In addition to pouches, Aer also started to come out with some really interesting sling bags. And I've never been a huge fan of sling bags in general, but whenever I do use a sling, the options from Aer are some of the ones that I gravitate towards to pretty regularly. I've definitely come to appreciate the functionality that they offer, particularly while traveling. You can pair it with a travel backpack so that you can reach your essentials easily while you're walking around the airport, or if you're sitting on the flight. It is very convenient. And then when you arrive at your destination, if you don't want to carry a full-fledged backpack, it's definitely going to be great for holding a water bottle, an umbrella, some sunglasses, those things that don't fit in your pocket. So, definitely understand the value there. And they have a pretty impressive variety. For this collection, they have included the City Sling and the Day Sling. And the Day Sling is offered in a larger size, but this is the smaller version that's part of the collection. Both of these, have a very sleek, modern aesthetic. The layouts are fairly similar, even though the look and shape of the bags is a little different. The Day Sling feels a little more rounded, a little sleeker maybe. This one is part of their travel collection, I believe, so it's meant to be sort of a companion to the travel backpack, whereas the City Sling is part of their city collection, so it's got a little bit of a boxier shape, which still looks really good. And then these two offer pretty similar capacity, 2 to 3 liters, I believe, which is a pretty popular sling bag size. So it doesn't get too big, which is great when you're trying to reduce the number of items that you're carrying. And so even when they're a little bit fuller, they never feel overwhelmingly bulky. And then along the exterior, they both have a little carrying handle, which I don't really use that much, but I guess it's nice to have. And then as far as the kind of shoulder strap that they have, the City Sling has a fidlock buckle. It's got this magnetic sort of clasp here, which is always fun to play with and feels really secure. It's in the middle of the strap, whereas the Day Sling has the same buckle, but it's offset to the side as opposed to being in the middle. So depending on your preferences, one of these might be better for you. Beyond that, they have the little loops that will allow you to hang them up if you need to, or pull them out of your bag if you happen to be storing them. Neither of them has a breathable back per se, but I don't think that really matters too much with this size of sling. And then one additional benefit with the City Sling is that if you release the buckle, it actually has some slots on the back, so you can tuck the strap away and turn this into almost like a tech pouch, and then pull the straps out if you want to wear it, which I think is a nice additional kind of bonus point for the City Sling. And you have some compression straps on the side, so if it's not as full, you can tighten it up a little bit. Don't really have that option with the Day Sling. And then although the Day Sling is technically the more travel focused sling, they both have a zippered pocket on the back, which is really nice. I know that people like having these pockets for their passport, for a wallet, anything a little bit more sensitive since it rests against your body. It'll give you a little bit of peace of mind. So they both have these pockets that offer a good amount of capacity. They have a quick access pocket on the front. With the City Sling, the zipper is in the center. So, that could be beneficial to, depending on how you wear the sling or which side you pull it around. It might be easier to grab whatever you need to without having to worry about it necessarily flipping over. They have a little lanyard with a carabiner in it, both of them do. And then the quick access pocket on the Day Sling, it's got just the more standard orientation, feels like it's got a nice amount of volume, and also the lanyard with the carabiner. Then on the main compartment, both feel pretty similar as far as the layout that's on the inside. So they have this spacious middle section that's going to be able to hold those items I was mentioning, the sunglasses, the smaller umbrella, and on the inside you have a variety of elastic slip pockets and just areas to keep all of your stuff easy to find, accessible, whether it's your phone, your AirPods, some gum, anything that you need to grab. Both of them are really just going to make it easy without going overboard as far as their organization. So as I've mentioned with the other items in this collection, if people are asking me for a good sling bag, I really like both of these. I might prefer the aesthetic of the City Sling, maybe slightly, but in general, both of these are going to be fantastic, versatile slings. And then the last item in the collection is the City Pack Pro, which I've called out a number of times as one of my favorite tech and EDC bags of the past couple of years. I was really excited when this was first announced because it seemed to offer a similar style and form factor to the travel line, but in a more daily carry friendly size, which I had been hoping that Aer would release, and so it really delivered on that front. And it had some slight updates to the layout that were different from the design that Aer typically employed for many of their bags, which was great to see. And Aer, of course, has some really great daily bag options that could have been featured as part of the collection. They recently released the Tech Collection. That includes the Tech Pack 3 and the Day Pack 3, which have a little bit more of a minimal, sleeker aesthetic. There's also the Flight Pack 3, which is very, very versatile. You can use that as a briefcase, a shoulder bag. But to me, the City Pack Pro continues to be the one that I think is the best tech and daily carry option in their lineup. I really like the harness system on this one. It has in many ways a similar harness to the other bags in the lineup, but with this one and the City Collection, they started to experiment with adding a little bit of contouring to the shoulder straps, which I think is great. And then you still have the very breathable harness, the back panel, luggage pass-through. You have an external water bottle pocket, which is great to see. This bag has a zippered quick access pocket on the side with the lanyard. You have the dedicated laptop area, well padded sleeve. This one as well does not have the fleece lining, so that's kind of a running theme, as I've mentioned with some of the other bags in this collection. So something to keep in mind, but you still get the really well padded sleeve, and it's pulled up off the bottom of the ground. You have the really nice handle at the top, and then the organizational layout that I've called out in the travel pack. So the same thing as far as the front zippered quick access pocket. This area here, this top compartment, is where things change a little bit. You no longer have the admin panel that goes all the way down. You have kind of a larger compartment here that has a little bit of internal organization, some slip pockets, a zippered pocket, and so it's different, but I think it still works really well. And you still have the additional top quick access pocket that Aer does so well. And then beyond that, you have the clamshell style opening, which works well for travel or for daily carry. Regardless of the use case, I'm always a fan of the clamshell style, especially with my modular style of packing. I can organize all of my stuff, all of my pouches. You have a couple of zippered pockets on the lid, but it doesn't really go overboard. It just keeps things very functional, and I continue to come back to this bag a lot now with the Ultra fabric I'm sure I'm gonna be using it even more. Anytime I see the rain coming, I'm probably gonna run out to have a chance to test this, see how it holds up. But you know, just a great versatile bag that I've used a ton over the past couple of years. If you wanna see the full review, I'll include links to that as well as all the other ones in the description below. But in general, you know, if you're a fan of Aer's bags, of their aesthetic, the feature set, then you know you're definitely gonna like the Ultra Collection, as it just brings all of the same things but just takes it up a notch with the additional factors that the fabric provides. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out Aer's Ultra Collection over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company's site. At the time of filming, I don't have the finalized pricing. I'm guessing though, with the Ultra fabric, because it's a little bit more premium, the pricing on these is gonna be higher than the standard versions, but Aer seems to always do a pretty good job of balancing the price for the items that they're releasing. And then you can still purchase all of these items in the ballistic nylon configuration. Some of them also come in X-Pack fabric. So, you know, any fabric that you get them in, these items have stood the test of time. They're great to use. They're some of my top recommendations when people ask me what my favorite tech backpack or my favorite travel bag is. These are some of the options that always come up first. So whether you want to check out the Ultra Collection or the other ones, I definitely think they're going to be some of the best on the market. And if you're looking for some other options to consider, I would also recommend taking a look at Bellroy. You know, they're gonna have a really nice set of, you know, tech, sleek, modern, kind of professional looking bags. The Transit Work Pack is a bag that I've always enjoyed using. The classic backpacks that they now have their Venture series, which has a really cool kind of rugged look. And then Bellroy also has a great ecosystem of pouches to pair up with their bags. They have some great travel backpacks, so kind of similar as far as the quality, but you know, just have maybe a little bit more of a subdued, less techy vibe. Alpaca is another company that has a large ecosystem of, you know, tech bags. They have good sling bags, pouches, travel backpack, so kind of the same sort of vibe as far as having pretty techy appearance. Great materials. They sell a lot of their bags in X-Pack, in Cordura, and so they're just gonna have different layouts, slightly different aesthetic if you're looking for kind of something similar. And then might also take a look at Able Carry's bags, which have some of the best harness systems on the market. Super comfortable. They also use very rugged fabrics. Their X-Pack is really, really cool. And then bags like the Able Carry Max and their Daily Plus are just gonna be very solid, all-purpose rugged bags. With that being said, Aer's bags hold up really well against all those options, and they continue to be one of my go-to recommendations, whether it's a travel backpack, gym bag, tech bag, sling bag, for pretty much any category. When people ask me, you know, what are some bags that they should check out, Aer always comes to the top of the list first, just because of the build quality, the value, the features that they offer. And, you know, I think that the Ultra Collection is just an excellent addition to, you know, their already impressive lineup of bags. And, you know, I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of the Ultra Collection and about the Ultra fabric in general. It's become so popular nowadays. I'm curious about your experiences with it, whether you think that, you know, it's overhyped, if it delivers on the value that people seem to be talking about. You know, let me know in the comments below, as well as if there's any other similar bags that you'd like to see me feature on the channel. And I want to thank Aer for sending the bags for me to test out and congratulate them on reaching, you know, the 10-year milestone. Super exciting. And to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.